what's his state like physically?
Well, so I think mentally he is deteriorating, and physically he's had ailments. We've heard from several doctors that say it's not good. He's had problems with he's had problems with his arm, and I mean, all I can say is that when he sits in the back room, sometimes he looks withdrawn. Sometimes he'll pay attention. I mean, this is a smaller courtroom than the one where we were in February. So I think the acoustics are better. So he is able to follow. But, oftentimes you can tell that this has gotten to him. And certainly Stella will say that she's afraid that, this process is going to go on for 3 to 4 more years. And it's a widespread belief that he may not survive given the way that his health is deteriorating.
It's really awful. And where are all these people who are like, I hate Trump. Trump is the worst. I love Obama. Obama's the best. Why aren't they upset that Trump and that thug Pompeo, they get so upset when Pompeo delivers a fucking thing from Jerusalem during the RNC.
That's a Hatch Act violation.
Right. That's serious. Like, why aren't they upset that they're doing something that Obama decided not to do?
Yeah, I think that's the right question, because I think people on the left have to check their opposition to Obama and recognize that it's a fact that there was no indictment against Julian Assange under Barack Obama. And that matters because Donald Trump's the one that actually indicted Julian Assange.
Right.
And that's something that we need to wrestle with. And the reason why I say we should wrestle with it is because it flat out fucking irritates the prosecutor that Barack Obama did not indict Julian Assange. This has been something that they have been trying to deny for the last week. Every witness is told that, the grand jury investigation continued. Oh, well, that report doesn't say that. There were New York Times stories and there were Washington Post stories that said that the Justice Department recognized there was a First Amendment problem and that they could not prosecute Julian Assange without also going after editors at the New York Times. And so they backed away. And Matthew Miller, who was a spokesperson for the Justice Department, an Obama person, has made it clear that they just didn't think this was something they would be able to succeed in going after him over. They left the grand jury open. Yes, that's a problem. But there wasn't an intent to continue with prosecuting for the Chelsea Manning disclosures. In fact, I think we can suggest that they were going to move on entirely from them because one of Obama's last acts was to commute the sentence of Chelsea Manning.
Right.
So then, they've been trying to make it seem like Donald Trump isn't making a political decision. And this is important for saving Julian Assange. Because if it's a political case against Julian Assange, if they're not applying the law fairly and equally and justly like they should to anyone who would commit an offense, then this is a political case and it may fall under an exemption that protects Julian Assange from being extradited to the United States. And so it's quite clear that the Justice Department had one policy under Obama, and then when Trump came into office, you had, Jeff Beauregard Sessions, who had Los Leaks. He was one of the few senators who was in favor of having a kind of a Official Secrets Act in the United States, which we don't have, but it would have made it a crime to publish classified information, or would have helped criminalize the publication of state secrets. And then you have Mike Pompeo, as you mentioned, who has been very aggressive he was the CIA director and now at the State Department. He's definitely continuing the same actions that he started as a CIA director. And, there's John Bolton, who was the national security advisor. Of course, it talked about executing Chelsea Manning or, people, these people in the administration were people in favor of drone bombing Julian Assange. These are the people who are involved in bringing this indictment.
It's so depressing and it's so scary. And it's I feel so hopeless and helpless. And, they've done such a good job of making this guy a weirdo, seem like a weirdo, as if that counts at all.
Matters.
Matters, as if that matters at all. Imagine if Venezuela or Russia or North Korea held a trial and had someone in a glass box at the back of the courtroom.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, well, so what their U.S. is claiming the right to do is to indict a journalist from anywhere around the world, and that's the kind of precedent that you can imagine the Chinese government, the Russian government, Saudi Arabian government, Israeli government, Turkish government, maybe the Brazilian government. Some of the more powerful countries in the world would probably like to be able to claim that they are protecting their classified information, and that a journalist, say in Australia or in a European country or in Canada, that they could extradite them for violating classified information. And that's what we're doing. Is that whole concept that has existed since 9/11 of treating the world as the battlefield, where we'll go anywhere, we'll drone bomb anywhere, we'll send our troops anywhere, we'll occupy wherever we have to go, we'll support whatever proxy force we have to support. Now it's extending out to, we'll target a journalist who is publishing our classified information and try to bring them to the United States and put them on trial. And that clip, just so that I can make sure people know what we were showing when we started this interview, that clip showed Leon Panetta basically yucking it up about the fact that this undercover global private security company in Spain was hired, was working on behalf of U.S. intelligence to target the Ecuador embassy while Julian was inside.
Chef von den Aufnahmen in der Botschaft.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, that kind of thing goes on all the time.
It's really alarming. It's really alarming. And I think it's good that you are having me on to talk about all of this.